Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. My name is Randall Hall, and our topic today is PowerShell. You'll notice I am running a Windows Server 2008 R2 Enterprise. And we're going to start PowerShell over here on the left-hand side. Now, there's several ways to start up PowerShell. We can also do that through a command prompt. Just type in PowerShell. There we go. And there are links found all throughout your server as well. You'll notice I have a link here for Windows PowerShell modules. Now you do need to know the little difference between the modules and the actual base PowerShell. The PowerShell by itself does not have any modules loaded at all. But if you do load these modules, you'll get more functionality. That is, these modules actually bring more to the table. Now, one of the first commands that you need to know is something called get help, and that is going to be our /? if you're used to that in the old DOS world. The other very important command is get command, and you'll notice these commands are done in a pair. We call them commandlets. There's a verb and a noun that's used for each one of these. And you'll see here's a big list from our get commands, all the different commands that are available to us. Now, if I was to take and compare this list through my administrator Windows PowerShell modules, I'm going to type in get command here as well, and you'll notice we have a lot longer list. If I scroll up and down, you'll see I have the ability in this case to set some Active Directory objects, remove some Active Directory objects, and if we go back to the original PowerShell, you'll see that these are not there. We also have a lot smaller list on the original PowerShell as opposed to where those modules have been installed by default. Now, to understand PowerShell, I'll just use our basic PowerShell, which we found in the bottom left-hand corner. You can also find this through your accessories. You'll actually see a Windows PowerShell there in accessories. And this is where you can run the PowerShell utility or something called the integrated scripting engine. And this brings up another version of PowerShell. So several ways to start up PowerShell. It'll take just a few moments for the ISA to run. Now the ISA is designed as a tool to make it a little bit easier for you to run PowerShell. And you'll notice in this it has 1, 2, 3 panes. This is the default view. I like to move the script over on the right hand side. And you'll notice you can save, run, and debug scripts. The file will actually be, again, the name of your script, .ps1. Now for demonstration purposes, I do like to use the ISA environment. We'll do get command here as well. And you'll notice it gives us a nice easy to view screen. We can scroll up and down and quickly get access to that information. So it works well, especially in a demo mode. I'm going to go ahead and turn off again components that we don't need. And again, you'll notice we have little arrows that we can actually use. We also have the buttons in our toolbar to manipulate those as well. So we're going to get rid of that. We're not going to create scripts today, and we're going to use our command window down here at the bottom and our detail window to demonstrate. Now, the script pane, again, like we said at the top, this is for scripting purposes. You can actually have that 100%. So again, you can manage that interface however you so choose. Now, when we talk about PowerShell with PowerShell 101, the first thing you need to know, of course, is get help. And this will get you help. And I'm going to run get help on get command. And so this is the first line that I like everybody to memorize. It's get help, get command, examples. Now the reason that this is so important, PowerShell is self-documenting. When they create a help file here in PowerShell, you'll note that PowerShell has these examples. And so you can actually reverse engineer those commands. You can see the commands as they exist. You can copy and paste these. For example, here's a really elaborate command. I can just highlight part of that. I want the get command. It's going to go out, get the verb called set. I'll paste that in and I'll give that a test. So here we actually have all the set commands. Now using arrow keys, I can actually bring up a history of old commands. I can look at all the gets, the sets, anything that creates something new. Remove. So all those verbs that we talked about, those key verbs, we can actually look and see each one of those and how they would function. I'm going to go through my history and go back to examples one more time. And you'll notice here's one where I can go out and get the command, and then we have different options. For example, here's one where somebody's going out, they're getting information from the security module. In this case, it's for a PowerShell security. Here we have an example where people are taking information from one command, sending it to another command, and sending it to another through what we call piping. This is a long one where it goes out, gets the commandlets, it sorts them, and then creates a table. So we can copy this command and give that a try. And so here we can scroll through all the different nouns that are out there. And again, see what commands we can do with those. So for example, the process nouns, we can look at the wait, stop, start, debug, and get. And again, a really powerful way to get some help, again, using PowerShell. So remember, first of all, find your PowerShell utility. Make sure you start it in the right place. Where you start it does matter. And different functions, we call them commands or commandlets, will be available to you. We also have aliases. And again, you want to type in our get help, get command examples. So I hope you've enjoyed the first of our series in PowerShell. And again, we look forward to seeing you in the future.